A professor of Islamic political thought and the Yusuf Maitama Sule University, Kano, Umar Labdo, has claimed that the recent events unfolding in the southern part of the country indicates a gang up against the Fulani ethnicity in the region, particularly in the southwest, where herdsmen are no longer welcomed. Although it has been clarified that the recent expulsion notice given to Fulani by the Ondo state government is specifically targeted at herders hiding in the state forest reserve and committing various crimes, Labdo insists that the expulsion affects all Fulani regardless of what the government says. Fulanis are Fulanis, whether they are herders or they are settled Fulani. Fulani is a Fulani. So we are talking about a whole community being stereotyped as criminals, Labdo went on to say. Following Governor Akeredolu's ultimatum, a lot has transpired from across the south, especially in Oyo State and the southeast states where herdsmen have been targeted by the Eastern Security Network, a security outfit created by the indigenous people of Biafra leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. In a recent interview with Daily Sun, Professor Usman Yusuf similarly voiced concerns over the silence of southern leaders in the wake of threats and attacks against Fulanis in the region. He said, unless they speak out and call their people to order, it means they are in full support of what is going on. A situation, he said, is very dangerous. Yoruba youth have asked Fulanis to vacate Oyo State, and a governor is also asking them to vacate the forest. No Yoruba leader is speaking out. They must speak up loud and clearly, because the events that will happen will not be small if they are not nipped in the bud. This is serious. Responsible voices need to be heard. He went on to say, this man, Igbo, is just a political thug. What is he doing for a living? Thuggery? And he is the one anchoring the southwest. He is the one calling the shot in the southwest, while Nnamdi Kanu is the one calling the shot in the southeast. Where are the leaders? Where are the Afenifere and Ohanese leaders? So the youth will not listen to them. They listen to Nnamdi Kanu, who is all the way in the United Kingdom or wherever he is. See what is happening in Olu. The indigenous people of Biafra clashing, fighting the military. Where are the elders who should call the youth to order? During NSAS, where the Afenifere and the Oduduwa Republic leaders to call these boys to order. Yusuf said, all of this. Labdo also singled Sunday Igboho, saying the fact that he enjoys protection while encouraging violence against Fulani speaks volume. He said, if you follow what is happening in the southwestern Nigeria, you will quickly notice that it is not only the governor, Akeredolu, there are other actors who are also trying to do the same thing. That is expulsion of the Fulanis from the southwestern Nigeria. Of course, you have heard of one Sunday Igboho. This guy is not an official of the government. He is an ordinary citizen. Although he may be speaking for an organization, I hear some people connecting his name to Oduduwa Republic. He is also issuing ultimatum to Fulani to leave Yoruba land. What is more disturbing is that his own utterances and words are encouraging some people to take law into their hands. He also said, although Sunday Igboho was ordered to be arrested by the Inspector General of Police, he has been enjoying a lot of protection. He said, I don't know whether his governor is protecting him, but like I told you, he is a hero in that region. According to the papers yesterday, it was reported that he went on tour to supervise the forest in the southwest to check the level of compliance of Fulani to his order. He was going around in the bush, making sure that Fulanis are preparing to leave. It is here in the papers. Wherever he went, the local people of that community will be cheering him. So I am sure he is under the protection of his people. And in any case, he is a thug. He has weapons. He has people to protect him. And I think he is an outlaw. He is outside the law. Otherwise, Why didn't he report himself to the nearest police station? If he knew that he is not a criminal, he should have reported himself. Labdo also warned that those issuing threats and attacks against Fulani should remember that their people are also scattered across the north, including remote areas where no one would even know that they were wiped out. He said, you cannot expel others and you live in peace. Now, these are the words coming from the northern part of Nigeria, one coming from a professor of Islamic political thought, Yusuf Maitama University in Kano. And this is another person, calls himself Labdo. He is insisting that the expulsion affect all Fulanis, regardless of what the government is saying. That tells you the level of backwardness these people are in. You just imagine someone who claims that is a professor in whatever it is. Now, one would wonder what kind of professorship he has in anything. How can it be? How is it possible? How is it ever possible for someone who should have looked at it in a much more wider and more clearer and more reasonable, more meaningful way? If you have been told that you cannot stay in the forest anymore and no to grazing in the night, and many of this, if you've been told leave our forest, I want to believe that all of this is an indicator, that you are actually doing something that is meaningless, something that is not meaningful. You live in the forest. You were told to leave the forest. And now someone is saying that it affects all the Fulanis, not regardless of whatever it is, because it's like a tag on Fulani. So if you know there is something staining your name, why don't you repair? Repair that name by doing the right thing. That is my own take about this issue of Fulani herdsmen or no Fulani herdsmen thing. Do the right thing. It's very important. Do the right thing. And how do you do the right thing? By calling your people to order, by telling them, look, you cannot continue to do business in this way anymore. We can't keep doing this a cake business anymore. Rather than going after people, governors, and calling someone political thug, who does it represent and all of that, why don't you, channel your energy into telling your people, if you're a professor, look, this is not right. Don't go here and there looking for grasses and water and disturbing other people's farm. If you have a settlement, lease a land, buy a land, live according to the rules and constitution of that particular locality. Live like human beings, not like animals, not like fools. Do not think that your cows are more important than human beings and you think other people's farm are not also more important than you. It's vice versa. But you know what it is? They've already issued out threat. He's saying it is dangerous. He's saying it's not going to be a small thing. It's not going to be a joke. He has said a lot of things. He said there won't be peace. Of course, this, I believe, is the journey that it needs to be. This is the journey that it has to go through. This is the pathway that it has to go through so that we can come to an end of that Nigeria. And then we can begin to deal with the criminals. You know them. The south of Nigeria, you know the criminals there. Many of them they are politicians, ex-politicians, godfathers of politicians, and probably some businessmen who have vested interests here and there. You know all of them. And some of their political thugs, criminals, like people who came after NSAS protesters, peaceful protesters. Those are the people you need to write their names, know where their children live, because they don't mind to cause mayhem, go in a private jail and fly to meet their children wherever it is. Most of them have stolen enough money to keep them for more than 100 years. So it's very important that we keep tag of all of this, because from the look of things, you might think it's just joke. A lot might happen before 2023. Do not forget that a lot of people have forecasted, they've predicted, they've seen visions, they've said a lot of things, they say they prophesy. There might be no 2023. When I say no 2023, it means that there won't be an opportunity for an election to be conducted, because Nigeria would have moved. They keep talking about we are moving towards the precipice, we are tilting, there is a crack. At the end of the day, you might realize that there won't be anything anymore, because the southern governors, they might try here and there to play politics. People will begin to stone at them People begin to set government houses. I'm not talking of buses. I mean, where governors stay. Set it ablaze to let them know that, look, we are dissatisfied with you. If you don't want to be governor, get the hell out and get out. We don't want any of this anymore. And these Fulanis, and next, it will be corrupt politicians. So there won't be, Nigeria needs to be sanitized. You can't keep living this way. It is impossible. It is impossible for that place to remain that way. They've stolen the past, the present, and the future is already being stolen. And now people are simply asking, please, let me be able to sleep and wake up. We are talking of very, very poor people. People who have been disenfranchised over time. People who have been robbed over time. No social assistance, nothing. They are just operating like there is no progress. No one is even looking at how things are supposed to be done. Someone comes in here, does a little bit of this, steals a lot, and gets out. Somebody comes again, destroy that. What kind of rubbish is this? And when they are asked once in a while, why did you do this? They end up fainting in court. No, enough is enough.